Hey!
This is JJ and Alex.
I made a name for myself, I told you I won't be denied.
As you wrap up your day, it's time to get your fix of the teams you live for and the sports you love. This is JJ and Alex, presented by G2G Bars on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Tiring?
Oh yeah. Welcome on into this program. We were just having a discussion about Sister Jean.
Well, who wouldn't have a conversation about Sister Jean?
I saw a headline.
Afternoon?
I know. I saw a headline. If you don't know who Sister Jean is, she is the mascot incarnate of the folks at Chicago Loyola, right? You've seen them. They were in, an 11 seed a few years ago in the NCAA tournament. They went to the Final Four. Yeah. And every time that a big three-pointer was made, to the crowd, here's Jean. Boom, there's Sister Jean. And ESPN has a headline that says Sister Jean, 106, comma, and I'm like, dead. No, retires. Wait, what? Don't put Sister Jean in the news unless she's passed away. All right? You can't fool us like that. I'm not saying I'm looking forward to it. I'm saying she's 106 and she retired? What are we talking about right now? Anyway, congrats. 82 years at the institution.
As a chaplain and a nun.
What kind of retirement plan is that? What's the 80?
Oh, her 401k has to be massive.
What is an 80-year anniversary
she
gift
can finally
from a company
start pulling from her 401k. She's finally eligible.
You know what? The best thing I ever did was I converted it to a Roth IRA 57 years ago.
She's rolling in it.
Saved those tax dollars.
Now she could go on a cruise or something.
All right. Welcome back. If you need to get any more hot Sister Jean news throughout the week, you can get it right here. We'll have it for you. In the meantime, we've got lots going on here in the studio. We've got lots going on. Our door doesn't work on the studio.
Oh, it actually works both ways.
JJ's got the heater on underneath.
It's still open. It's like, hold on a second. I gotta go take
JJ's
care of
like a 30-something HR lady who's got a heater under his desk at the office. We've got there we go. Door's shut. It might not open ever again. Might not open ever again.
The door won't open or close.
We don't know if we're going to be able to get out of this thing.
We're just lucky to be in
but
here.
Like I said, JJ's toes get cold through the day, so he put a heater under his desk. Good for him.
I didn't do that.
No, come on.
Whoever was here previously did that. Lloyd needs to be honest and account for who did that. Who's the person on the previous show
that put a heater underneath
that needed a heater on their toes?
They're both very...
I know it. I'm not saying it.
Listen, these
I'm
guys...
not going to out the heater guy. I'm not going to do it.
I will say this. Hans and Scotty run surprisingly cold all the time.
Like their circulation's gone. They have no circulation.
My wife tells me you have what some people in the medical community refer to as the hot hand. If I touch her back at any point, she wants to die because my hands are 1,000 degrees all the time. Now, that being said, we've had a cold studio recently, and I definitely wear long sleeve shirts on a lot of days because I'm like, it's going to be freaking cold in that studio. So oh boy,
there
here it comes.
Did you hear that on the radio?
Did you hear the door?
I didn't tell him to move it.
Yeah. Get the heater out of the way. You know what?
It's probably not a good place to put the heater.
I know what to get those guys for Christmas now. Some of those heated gloves from Costco. You know those like heated socks you can get from Costco? The heated gloves from Costco? I'm going to do it.
What, are you plugging your gloves in? How's that work?
Yeah, the isotoners. Oh.
You know what? When I was a kid, I wanted isotoners because Dan Marino did those commercials.
I'm not kidding.
It's like, man, those gloves must be amazing.
Yeah. Well, and then you had OJ, and that kind of ruined their brand for a while, right? My favorite is that guy
actually
went
worked
back,
out pretty well for OJ.
A guy went back and looked and found OJ wearing those gloves and the shoes during a television broadcast during the AFC Championship game in like 1987. It's pretty wild. The guy's like, these are the gloves. These are the shoes. The ones with a very specific foot pattern on the bottom, and they're like, we don't know. I don't own gloves like that. I've never owned gloves like that. They're like, here he is in the broadcast wearing the isotoners. But the gloves didn't fit, and so we had to quit. All right? It's just our job. All right.
Yeah, we went from Sister Jean to OJ's murder spree in less than 5 minutes. That's a pretty good span.
Alleged, may he rest.
Alleged.
All right. We've got lots to go on the show.
Now he's trying to find the real killers on the other side.
I saw a guy with a video today. He goes, look, I don't want to eat this and risk being Kurt Cobain's roommate. I was like,
gosh.
Boy, made it sound.
He's
like, this cheese looks like it went bad. If I eat this, I might be Kurt Cobain's roommate. I was like, oh boy, that's bad. But it's now my new move that I'm going to use. Let's kick off the show with the cut. Let's jump into the program. We've got some sports to talk about. That's what we're paid to do, not pontificate about OJ and Sister Jean.
Hey, they both have sports. OJ's a Heisman Trophy winner.
Hey.
Sister Jean is a March Madness icon. We're on topic.
You know what? Then I don't apologize anymore. Let's jump into the cut right here, top of the program.
It's time for the biggest story of the day. This is what made the cut with JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Trajan Wealth brings you this portion of the program. TRAJAN Wealth.com. That's Trajan Wealth for all your trusted local needs in retirement. TrajanWealth.com. Okay. Oh, JJ, I just got terrible news on my phone. It looks like that my phone number may be a part of a massive data breach.
What?
I don't know. I get that periodically. I think that probably means it definitely is, right?
Don't click on it.
Oh, I don't click on it. I'm just saying it's like, change your password. Click here to change your password. No, thank you.
Do not do that.
Hold on, JJ. You keep the show going while I pay these HOV lane violations that I didn't know I had. Go ahead.
Hey, it's really important, so I'll take over.
I didn't know. I was racking up all these HOV lane violations. I didn't know about it.
Oh, well, let me click on it.
I've got to pay this guy. He seems like a good person.
You got to do it. You got to give.
Utah goes to West Virginia this week, and they've got to get right.
Ooh.
And I don't know what that version is. And I was listening to Patrick Kinahan today on DJ and PK, and he said, it'd be nice to get a comfortable win, and even one where you can just blow those guys out so you kind of get right. And I thought that's a luxury that I don't think you necessarily have all the time, to just say, hey, you know what? Just go and blow out West Virginia at West Virginia, you should be okay. That's a lot to ask. And they've got a lot of things to figure out. And Kyle Whittingham, at his press conference this week, couple big things. Obviously, big one with Hunter Andrews and his injury. Here's what he had to say right out of the gate about Hunter Andrews and that situation. And because it's a season-ending injury, that's when when they start talking about it, it's not good news. Here's what he said.
He's out for the season, unfortunately. Big loss for us. He did a lot of things for us offensively, and really we'll miss him. But somebody's got to step up and pick up the slack, and we're working through that this week, who that guy's going to be.
All right, so now you've got to figure out how to pick up the pieces for your quarterback this week, because I don't know what the health situation is of Devin Dampier. His ankle, is it going to be fine this week?
It should be.
How do we know?
But what does that mean? What does it mean? What
if he was playing and he was hurt with it? Does that mean that it's going to keep getting better? Or in my mind, I'm going, if he's playing on a bad ankle a little bit, I don't care how taped up you are. I don't care how much ibuprofen you took. You probably still have to work out some of that stiffness. I know that I get it. The availability report, I think, comes out tonight, right? The injury reports that come out tonight. Yeah. So we'll find out tonight if they're going to list anything.
They'll list everybody as questionable.
That's all I was going to say. Is we'll probably see some shenanigans.
Except for Cam Rising, who's out with age.
that was pretty good. I did fall for that initially when I saw it. Devin Dampier and what this offense has to do. The good news is this West Virginia defense isn't necessarily the strongest in the conference. Here's what Witt said about that Mountaineer defense.
They're active. They twist and stunt and slant, and they do a lot of movement, primarily a 3-3-5, like I said, about 50% odd front, 50% even front. A lot of pressures. They're a high dose of pressure team. You got to be ready for movement as an offensive lineman. You got to be ready for a lot of different things to see.
All right. Luther Ellis, who's a defensive line coach for the Utes, talked about what the West Virginia offense kind of poses for them in terms of what they have to get ready for on their defensive front.
We have to be really disciplined in what we do and be consistent in our technique, because they're averaging over 200 yards rushing a game. They take pride in that. It's what they do really well, and we're going to have to play extremely great defense, and they're a fast tempo offense. So they're going to push it, and they're going to test their guys' mettle, meaning mental toughness, and we got to make sure we're ready for all that.
What is the bar for this week? If you're a Utah fan, is it just to get that win? Is it just to escape out of there with a win, or to get back on track with whatever it was that you were doing on the offensive side of the football, where you were creating a ton of points, a ton of yards? Were you fooled going into that Texas Tech game? What is it that you now, and this is something I'm going to ask the guys this week when we do our Football Fridays, of course, when we get into it, what is it that we now know, so to speak, about this Utah team? Because I feel like we had the rug pulled out from under us last week.
Well, here's what I know. Here's the facts. Since joining the Big 12, Utah's played 10 games. Their record in Big 12 games is 2-8. That's not good. So instead of looking at the Utes as something that of a program that's accomplished something over a span of 2 decades, let's look at it in the now, just in this Big 12 microcosm, and realize that this team has been bad in the Big 12 era. Bad. Okay? So beating group of 5 teams, if you take all that away, they have one game where they beat a team by 2 touchdowns, and that was
UCF last year.
UCF last year at the end of the year, and we all know what UCF was going through at that point.
Gus Malzahn was like, I want to thank everybody. You haven't played the last game yet. Oh, sorry.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, we're focused.
So you got to start at the bottom here with Utah. Okay, this idea, go back there and beat the crap out of them and get right. No. This program hasn't been right for a minute, right? What have we seen from Utah that makes us think that they've been right? That's the record. That's the fact. 2-8 in 10 Big 12 games.
Right.
You can't take for granted going to West Virginia. They haven't achieved or earned that yet. They got to go get a win. Just go there and get a win. Start with that. Look at their schedule last year. The games they lost, it's puzzling, but that's who they are right now, and they have to own that.
So what were their wins last year in the Big 12? It was Oklahoma State at Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State in the first game, and UCF. That's it.
Yeah.
2 games. They went 2-7 last year, and then they lost their opener this year badly. They are not in a position to think they can go anywhere right now and whip someone's butt and move on to the next thing. They've got to start with a win, period. There needs to be some desperation and looking in the mirror saying, like, we're in our second year in this Big 12 thing, and we're not flexing our muscle. We're not where we need to be as a program. We're falling short of our own expectations, not just the expectations that others have of us. This is Utah. Like, you were in the Rose Bowl back-to-back years and won back-to-back Pac-12 championships in 2021 and 22, and 3 years later, you've lost 8 of your last 10 conference games.
That is...
Think about that.
Yeah, when you say it like that, it's tough.
That's a fact.
I do think that it's interesting that... I was chatting with my neighbor who's a massive Utah guy, and we were talking about that, and he was like, yeah. And he was at the game. He's a season ticket guy, and he's been at every game, every week, all the time, forever. And he's like, that was so hard to watch. It was so disappointing. It was so weird. And he's like, and he said the same thing. He brought the same thing up. He goes, how do you go from winning the Pac-12 a couple of years in a row to this? And I said, well, the problem with winning the Pac-12 a couple of times in a row and then going to the Rose Bowl is that level of excellence is extremely hard to maintain. Now, it doesn't just happen because you said, like, we bring that up like it's a thing where you go, hey, they won 2 Big 12 or they won 2 Pac-12 championships. They got to win 2 Big 10 or Big 12 championships in the next couple of years. It's like, it doesn't just happen. How do you think they got to that point? The amount of work that it took for them to get there, it wasn't just like, oh, we got lucky and the quarterback stayed healthy most of the year. Like, that's so little of what the story actually is. And maintaining excellence at a high level is so hard to do. So when people go, well, they won those back-to-back Pac-12 championships, they should be better right now. That makes no sense. That's not a straight line.
No.
There's no way to.
Not.
You can't do it like that. You can't just say we were good, so why aren't we good? That is not how this works. Ask Alabama. We've always been good. Why aren't we in the college football playoff? You can say it was just because Kalen DeBoer came in and he's not Nick Saban. I don't know if it's as easy as that, right? Every team's got a weird way of why they got to where they're at right now. And in the case of Utah, I think you can put a huge, huge amount of that lack of success last weekend to the fact that Devin Dampier was 60%. I like that guy wasn't just limited in what he does. He became a different player because of what they were, or because of how hurt he was. He was a different guy. And that's a tough thing to do. Here's Devin Dampier, by the way, talking about his about how losing that one game shouldn't define exactly what they are.
Continue to build confidence. That's the biggest thing. You don't want to have one game where we weren't on clicking on all cylinders to affect the way we play the rest of the season. It's one game, we put it behind us, and now the focus is, again, to use that fuel to go out there and let's play a lot harder than we did last week.
So, in the end, you've got to flush it, as Kyle Whittingham said yesterday, right? Got to flush it, got to move on. You can't hang out thinking about this loss. Clearly, you don't have time to mess around with what happened against Texas Tech. All you have now in front of you is West Virginia. And the rest of your conference schedule, and this is why I try to warn, we do this all the time in our business. We can, because we're talking about it. But if you are at that school and you go, hey, look at the schedule. Okay, we're going to beat West Virginia, okay? Like, just saying it does not make it happen. And BYU fans do the same thing. They're like, Colorado, piece of cake. West Virginia comes home, we'll beat the heck out of them. And you're like, how? Like, what makes you think in this conference you can just show up at a game and be like, we have all this talent, and we have an 18-year-old at quarterback, and he had a pretty good second half against ECU, probably going to be really good. The same way that you go, Devin Dampier, man, he came here to the University of Utah, and he's been awesome so far. He'll probably win every other game. Oh, he's not healthy all the way? So where is the mindset of these teams? Where are they at right now? That's the thing that I don't know. I don't know where they're at. I think that guys like Lander Barton must be just absolutely scratching their head going, we're busting our friggin' tails, and I'm not seeing the payoff here. And I bring up Lander because I feel like Lander's, maybe this is too much, but I feel like Lander's brand has been affected by this last 14 months. Like, that guy's going to be in the NFL one day. But he should have been on these teams that were achieving insane excellence. And he's been a leader on this defense that's been really, really good. I'm not trying to pick on Lander Barton. What I'm saying is that because of a 2-7 conference slate last year that they had, they start 0-1 this year. People look at guys like him. People look at all these big names that you talk about and you rattle off on this roster. People kind of roll their eyes after a while and go, yeah, but what did it mean? What did it turn into? And that's hard. So I think they do. I mean, I think they will go into West Virginia and take care of business. West Virginia is an inferior opponent. Absolutely.
On paper, yes. How many inferior opponents beat Utah last year?
That's what I'm saying. Houston down in Houston, come on.
Right, it happened.
Like that's a slam dunk game on your schedule,
and they blew it.
That at least you thought was. And by the way, Houston is way better this year. They were getting better last year. They smelled blood in the water with Utah, literally from the injury front, and they pounced. And they didn't have to score more than, what was the score of that game, 16-10 or some BS like that. So anyway, guys like John Henry Daly,
17-14.
17-14. Guys like John Henry Daly, they've been a massive impact of the team. They just have to keep rolling, keep doing their thing. Here's what Kyle Whittingham had to say about what are we saying? We're saying GHD, right? Or JHD? Isn't that what we're doing now? Everybody's calling him JHD. Okay, here's what JHD means to Kyle Whittingham on this defense.
He's improved in every aspect of his game. He's stronger. He's a technician. I mean, he's working on his fundamentals, his techniques extremely hard. He's got really good pass rush skills, but he's a guy that has really, really polished up his game over the last year and really made himself into an exceptional player.
Okay. He's really good. Did he have one more sack this weekend?
Yeah, he got a sack in the Texas Tech game.
He's up to 6. Not bad.
He also delivered the shot. It wasn't a sack, but he hit Baron Morton really hard.
Is that when he went out?
The first time. First time, not the second time.
Oh, and I think it was it?
He got him in the ribs really good.
Yeah, and then Baron Morton head first is not it when you're a quarterback.
Yeah, he learned the hard way. You don't do that.
Anyway, he might have gotten Drew Bledsoe on that thing.
Oh, he's definitely going to get Wally pipped because this Hammond kid is the real deal.
He is pretty darn good. All right. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We've got more to go on the program today. We've got tons to get to. We're going to chat some Vanderbilt and Utah State coming up in just a little bit here. And we're going to get with one of the beat writers who covers Vanderbilt. I mean, Vanderbilt having a beat writer, in my mind, that's crazy in itself. Because in your mind, like, honestly, isn't that weird? I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be mean. But Vanderbilt is just a program that you look at and you go, oh my goodness, they're starting to get good. This is the nationally ranked Vanderbilt Commodores.
It's in one of the fastest growing metropolitan areas in the country, in Nashville. There should be, and always should have been, success in Vanderbilt. It's great that they're finally getting it.
We'll take a break. We'll come back and measure up Utah State versus Vandy this weekend. Stay with us, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
Let's go! Complete game coverage of the Cougars is right here on the KSL Sports Zone. The Cougars head to Boulder for a battle against Coach Prime and the Buffaloes. Your home for the best coverage of Cougar football is right here on 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. You're locked on to JJ and Alex, presented by G2G Bars on 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome back, JJ and Alex, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. Thanks for being with us on the program. We cover all the teams, of course, here locally, and we, of course, carry all the games. It's the home of the Utah State Aggies here on your station every weekend. You can get dialed in and get the voice of the Aggies, of course, Scotty G, bringing you that one. They're going to make a trip down to Nashville, and they're going to be taking on the nationally ranked Vanderbilt Commodores. Doesn't happen all the time. You don't say those phrases all together at once very often. It has happened in history, but right now, the most energy around the Vanderbilt program that we've ever seen, at least in my lifetime. JJ, are you there too?
No,
yes?
I've never seen a Vanderbilt team this good.
No Jay Cutler news back when he was in college ever took over what was going on right now with the folks led by Diego Pavia. Joining us right now on the program, Chris Lee, covers Vandy and SEC Athletics for Vandy247.com. Chris, thanks for being on the program, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Listen, covering the Vanderbilt Commodores, you don't get years like this very often, but the last couple of years have been pretty darn exciting. The win over Alabama, of course, last year, and then people looked at it and went, I think they were shocked when they looked and they saw that Vandy wasn't 10-2. I think at the end of the year, they're like, I thought that was what the vibe felt like. But this is a team now, undefeated, ranked 18th in the country. How good are they compared to what you've seen in the past of Vanderbilt teams, and does this feel more legit than you've ever seen?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it's an amazing story, and you referenced that Alabama game. Like, at no point during the week leading up to that game, I knew they were better. You know, covering the game, and maybe until the fourth quarter did it occur to me, like, they might win this thing. And, you know, that game last year, like, they were a good team. They got a ton better. But you still look back at the end of the year and looked at the talent they had and some of the teams they were beating, and you're like, this is remarkable. And I don't know that it's sustainable. The team they have this year is a lot better than that team. And I think I've never said this. I've covered them now. I think this is my 22nd season. Like, this thought has never entered my mind, but I think they can compete with any team on their schedule. It's been incredible to watch what Clark Lee has done with this team just over the last 2 years.
So where do you give credit? Is it the coaching of Clark Lee? Is it finally having a quarterback in the program that's a dude that you can count on? Is it the investment from administrators or from boosters? What do you give credit to for helping Vanderbilt now become relevant in college football?
Yeah, it's all those things. I can give you a quick 2-minute history lesson. In 2022, end of the year, they had a 20-game SEC losing streak, and then they ended up beating Florida and Kentucky at home at the end of the year. And this was the end of Clark Lee's second year. And the first year they got beat by, an FCS school. And so everybody felt, okay, the program's on schedule now. They've gone 5-7, gotten 2 SEC wins. And then they come out and they had a couple of guys taken in the transfer portal, several guys that would have been key pieces, went to other schools for not that much money, to be frank with you. And then they went out and got beaten by UNLV in Vegas, I don't know, week 3 of the season. And I don't think they won another game the rest of the year. They might have gotten one more. but it just got ugly quickly. And from that UNLV game on, they realized, okay, what we're doing is not working. Trying to run a pro-style offense against SEC teams and get dudes on par or better than Georgia and Alabama and these teams we face just is not the formula to win here. And so they spent the offseason 2 years ago thinking, how can we get mobile quarterbacks and such? And they had seen what Jerry Kill had done at New Mexico State with Diego Pavia and beating Auburn and knocking off some other good teams here and there. And they said, all right, let's go talk to this guy. And they went after his coordinator. Jerry Kill sat in an interview. Next thing you know, Jerry Kill's retiring and coming to Vandy as a consultant, and Tim Beck as offensive coordinator is leading the offense. Now, they get Diego Pavia. You see the first steps of it last year, but he got hurt midway through the season, guys, and was not the same guy. And they were not the same team. And they spent the offseason going, okay, he's our bell cow. We have got to protect him. And so what they went and did is they got 4 or 5 graduate transfers in the portal on the offensive line, one of whom is Jordan White, who I think has legitimately got a case as a first-team All-American type dude at center. And so step one was getting the new system, getting the coaches to run it. They did a great job. Step two was just going out and getting more talent. And they particularly did it in the trenches. They did it in the portal with some more skill guys. It is an incredibly deep team because they've used the portal really well to fill roles here and there. And it is the best Vanderbilt team in my lifetime.
As you see this Utah State team coming into town, this is the second trip to SEC country they've taken this year. They had a loss at Texas A&M 44-22 about a month ago, just to kind of kick things off here. But they're also a 3-1 team. They beat UTEP out of the gates, but they had a really impressive performance against Air Force, which is always a tough out in the Mountain West for these guys. But the big deal is that Clark Lee knows what he's getting across the sideline in Bronco Mendenhall. That's a guy that we've covered for a lot of years here. We know what he can bring to a program, and that is immediate success. Not necessarily immediate, but he will turn a program into a winner very, very quickly. He's got 86 new guys on this team that came into Logan to play, and now they go down to SEC country again. We covered this guy for a long time. He coaches the heck out of a game, and Clark Lee knows exactly who that guy is. He's seen him in action. He knows they have a history together, and he has a ton of respect for Bronco. What is Utah State bringing in to Vanderbilt this weekend that you've seen on film?
Well, I haven't seen the film yet, other than watching them play Texas A&M, and so I look at the box scores and say, how is this working? Their third down conversions aren't very good. They've given up 16 sacks. But I think the thing, and Clark Lee touched on it Tuesday, is big plays. It seems like they scheme you. Maybe a little bit of what Vanderbilt did a year ago is just try to trick you with formations and things and create some mismatches or advantages for their offense. So it feels like big plays, and I think they've generated a lot of them, are a big key to what they've done. I know they've got a mobile quarterback, which seems to be in vogue in college football again, and that's the key to having a lot of success. And so, to be honest, I don't know a ton about them other than that game and just kind of reading the stat sheet. I know Miles Davis has had a really good year for them too. But, I think for them, it's going to be, can you generate enough big plays to stay in the game? And the sacks, I think, are kind of problematic for them. Like I said, they've given up 16. Vanderbilt's got a really good pass rush up front. A couple of kids named Corday Sidner and Nick Rinaldi, who I think will both be in the NFL this time next year. Rinaldi's a walk-on and a really good story. But I think, to me, when I kind of size this up, I think Utah State is – I think its defense has been on the field for about 50 more plays than its offense, which is kind of problematic when you're playing Vandy too. But to me, it feels like where they've got a chance to challenge them is in big plays, maybe in the passing game, because they have been really efficient per snap this year, both running and throwing the ball.
Clark Lee and Bronco Mendenhall have a past relationship. Nick Howell was a DC at Vanderbilt in 2022 and 23, so there's relationships there. Did Clark Lee talk about those relationships this week before the game?
He did a little bit, and if you go to our website, Vandy 24/7, I think we've got or our YouTube channel, you can see the whole press conference there. He talked about how his son, I think they knew his son because he'd come to practice, and so I think he's on the team at Utah State. And so obviously he was a DC for a couple of years. Clark Lee's a defensive guy. It didn't go well, in terms of on the field stuff, but I think they had a good relationship. He did address it, but he said, hey, look, when we tee it up, it's all going to be business. And so I think those were the things that he cited. But, I don't know whose advantage that works to Nick Howell having, coached against Clark Lee, albeit with a very different offense than what he saw when he ran practices on the other side of the ball.
Chris Lee covers Vanderbilt. Vandy 24/7 is the website where you can find his byline, and they cover all things. I want to know what Diego Pavia's progression has been. Like, that's a guy who obviously played really, really well. But what's he been like now that he's getting all this attention and everybody's waiting? It's almost like they're waiting for him to fall off of that pedestal that he's on, but he hasn't done it yet.
No, I don't think anything's changed with him. He's always been a guy who's been a little brash and always felt like he was better than he was given credit for, and he's right. And as a player, I think I've been asked a few times, is he any better than he was a year ago? I don't really know if I know the answer or not. They depended on him as such a one-man show a year ago, and their talent around him is so much better. I don't know if he's a better player or it's just the talent, but I think the supporting cast is there this year to kind of really back up some of the talk that they were talking last year. Sometimes it went well, and sometimes they got beat by Georgia State. But he's really the same guy as he was when he came to campus, and I don't know where they'd be without him because he infused just a confidence that and just a joy of playing football that I hadn't seen here, probably since I've covered the program. He's just been completely transformational.
Chris, we appreciate your time. We're going to be, of course, watching, listening to this one. This is, the radio home of the Aggies, and so a lot of folks are going to be dialed in, and we're excited about this one. Second trip to the SEC for Utah State this weekend as they take on Vanderbilt. We appreciate your time, Chris.
Yeah, I hope those folks traveling down your way have a safe trip. It's a fun city, and there's a lot to do here.
There you go. Chris, we appreciate it. All right, we'll take another break here. We'll come back. We've got more to go on the program. We have a Would You Rather around the corner you don't want to miss. So stay right here. Stay dialed in. 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone.
Listen, everybody. Real-life hypotheticals to get your brain churning. As JJ and Alex ask, would you rather?
All right, welcome back. JJ and Alex, 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone. We're just chatting with Chris Lee, who covers Vanderbilt, the Commodores down there. I think that it's, like I said, the way that people talked about this program last year as they're welcoming Utah State to town. I don't think Utah State's going to upset Vandy, but they are 23.5-point favorites.
Utah State will cover just like they covered in Texas A&M. And I think they're even more than the Texas A&M game. I think they're going to put a scare into Vanderbilt.
Texas A&M is better than Vanderbilt.
I'll agree.
I mean,
I think the Aggies are like you. I
don't think they're set
can't
for
pick a win.
Yeah,
they're going to make a lot of people in Nashville nervous on Saturday.
So they went 7-5 last year. Like, I think the way people talked about the program, they act like they were 9-3 for the first time in 77 years or something.
Because if they beat Alabama, they must be good.
If they don't beat Alabama, they're 6-6.
Right.
Right. They lost to Georgia State.
Yeah.
Or Georgia Southern. One of the directional or state.
You don't
Georgia
lose
schools.
the directional Georgia schools. That's not good.
You can lose to the big ones. Don't lose to the directional ones. Okay. So that's the part for me that I'm like, I think people are looking at this team and going, and yeah, they are ranked. You are absolutely right. They've scored a lot of points too. But sometimes cheetahs don't lose their stripes. You know what I'm saying? Like Vanderbilt.
Yeah. You're still Vanderbilt.
I'm not trying to be mean at all. Okay, so.
I mean, their wins are Charleston Southern, Virginia Tech, who's already fired their coach because they're so bad. They did beat South Carolina 31-7, but South Carolina may not be good. And Georgia State's their other win. Georgia State, Va-Tech, who's down, and Charleston Southern, and South Carolina, who is currently 2-1.
Okay, give me a
2-2.
I want to see the standings in the from 2024 in the SEC. So I'm looking at 2024, 2025. Okay, in the SEC, and Vanderbilt finished 3-5 in conference. Okay, they went to a bowl game and lost, so they went 7-6 overall. Okay, here are the teams they're sandwiched by: 3-5 Arkansas in conference play. How's that going for Sam Pittman?
Not great.
Gone. Didn't he get fired?
No, he's still there, but he will be.
He should be.
Arkansas just got beat by Memphis.
They got beat by Memphis. Yeah. And then Oklahoma on the other side. An Oklahoma team that had to revamp themselves so badly that, I mean, it's just, it's crazy. Who was better than Vanderbilt in the SEC last year, you might ask? Florida, Texas A&M, South Carolina, LSU, Alabama, Ole Miss, Missouri, Tennessee, Georgia, Texas. Now, you might say, well, you just said Alabama. They lost. They beat Alabama. Yes, but Alabama won 9 games. Like, if you can't string together some games, because here's my question for you. Would you rather be on a 7-6 Vanderbilt team or on a 9-4 South Carolina team? I'm talking about, like, listen, you get that.
Why would you'd rather be on the team that's winning more games, right?
I'm saying, like, you're guys who go to Vanderbilt, come on.
But
they're the ones, they go to Vanderbilt and they go, I got a free ride.
You get a Vanderbilt education.
That's what I'm saying.
It's the Stanford of the South.
That's what I'm saying.
You get to live in Nashville.
If you're the Stanford of the if you're the something of the something, you're the nothing of the nothing, by the way.
Maybe.
But Vandy, I mean, obviously it's a great school. Okay? Give me the Vanderbilt education. I would take getting my butt kicked, but also having a winning season in the SEC over even going to South Carolina or even LSU. I mean, my goodness. You don't go to LSU was 9-4 last year too. They were 5-3 in conference play. My heavens, the amount of teams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams went 5-3 last year in the SEC. 6 teams had the exact same conference record. Sorry, 7. So there you go. Man, Missouri won 10 games last year. No one cares about them, though.
No.
It's like a way sexier story to talk about Vanderbilt winning 7 games last year than it was talking about Vanderbilt.
And you know what that proves?
I mean, talking about
Missouri.
That
proves? Being stuck in the middle is no good either way.
Yeah,
you'd rather
100%.
be extremely bad or extremely good. You don't want to be in the middle because no one talks about you. In Missouri, nobody talks about Missouri.
Mississippi State didn't win a conference game last year. They went 0-8 in conference play. We're 2-10 last year. But everybody's looking at Mississippi State going, hey, good for you guys.
When they got a win over Arizona State, everyone was blown away. It was amazing. When in reality, Mississippi State should be beating Arizona State on their home field. They're an SEC team, right? But again, when you're in the middle, nobody talks about you. But if you're bad or you're really good, it's either exciting or crazy or wild on both spectrums.
Okay, would you rather take in a game this weekend at Vanderbilt, Utah State Aggies versus the Vanderbilt Commodores, or go out to West Virginia and watch Utah and West Virginia?
Take me home, country roads.
I agree. I haven't been to that stadium. That's one I haven't been to before. Now, the tough thing is you have to fly in to Pittsburgh and then like drive the hour and a half or whatever.
Great.
What are you saying great about? I'm going to Primanti Brothers.
The fall leaves are out. Yeah, you go ahead. Hey, why don't you just stay in Pittsburgh and then drive down for the game? You get all the fun. You get the sandwich, right?
The sandwich
what are the sandwiches?
With the fries on
what
it.
are the sandwiches? You go get your sandwich, and then you drive down, and you enjoy the foliage, and you experience West Virginia, and then you drive back to Pittsburgh, and you get to enjoy the city. Sounds like a fun trip to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to go to Nashville. Oh, here we go.
There we go.
West Virginia. Oh, my goodness.
See what we're missing?
John Denver.
The Shenandoah.
John Denver, may you rest. But he's dead, right?
You couldn't kill him off. He already died.
I know. Plane crash, right?
What?
Oh, yeah.
Plane crash?
That's how he died. What are you talking about? I think he was flying it too, right? Wasn't he? I'm all looking at Annapolis. He's born in 1999. Tell me how John Denver died.
He did die in a plane crash.
He was driving it. You don't say he's driving it. He was.
He should have stuck to the country roads.
What happened? Well, Grandpa was driving a plane. Well, that's your first problem. You got to fly it, kid. Can't drive it.
Yeah, he was not legally permitted to fly at the time of the crash because of his previous arrest for driving under the influence of alcohol. Do we know that?
I think everyone knows it but you, JJ.
John Denver's DUIs?
What?
We didn't know about that?
A guy whose main song is about a place whose main drink is moonshine had a DUI?
And
What?
what does he mean by a Rocky Mountain High?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we learned a lot about John Denver today.
I can't believe you're so ill-informed on the guy. I even knew he died in a plane crash where he was driving.
He wasn't supposed to be.
Uh,
Kind of sad.
Okay, on a flight driven by John Denver. No, that's a bad would you rather. It's a bad start.
Don't do that.
I'm not going to do it. Hey, let's go to break.
I feel bad enough saying he should have stuck to the country roads. That was
how
not very
dare you.
sensitive.
Well, that was the problem. Like I said, he was driving an airplane. All right, we'll take a break here. We'll come back. We've got more around the corner when we return. We've got tons to jump into still. We got some hockey talk coming up around the corner. Utah Mammoth insider for KSLSports.com, Cole Bagley, is going to join us. We're going to talk about all the things that are happening with this team right now in the preseason. Injuries, yes, it's part of hockey. I don't know if you know this. People get injured. And there's some injuries to talk about and much, much more. So let's get you ready for hockey season in a few installments walking up to the year itself. Cole Bagley, nobody better to be able to inform us on what's going on with the Mammoth. More to go, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.